I am going live. I didn't set it up ahead of time. Hello. There's a lot going on in the world and in my life personally. So, and I don't have a specific topic here, but yeah, I do have stuff going on with in my life that I'm not gonna share about right now, but yeah, I will give you all an unspoken prayer request. Pray for Red, like I said, like I always say, pray for Red because Red's praying for you. Let me light the candle. Oh, let me share out my video too. I'm going to share it out. Let's see. Where am I? Am I live? I'm live. Okay. I'm in stereo. Anybody out there want to come to my live? I'm live on Facebook too. Right here. And on Facebook. There we go. Hey, thank you, Darcy. Yeah, you know what it is. Hi, Betty. Yeah, I have, Betty, pre-retirement days. I have your number in my, yeah, I should just text you so you have my number right now. Because I put it in here. Let me see. Don't worry, I'm not going to say your last name. I tell everybody all too much about me, but it doesn't make the joke as funny if I say something about, that's a whole other story if I don't tell you my last name story, but I'm not telling anybody else's. Well, Darcy, you have it. You're not supposed to put that on your thing. I won't even say that. I was going to say, you're in the same place. Let me do this because yeah, that will probably be good. I think that will be good. I do have I've been, which is really nice. I have my therapist was an answer to prayer. And so about what I'm going through, I've been talking to her. And I talked to Lindy today, and we don't know if there's a way for her to put her lives on subscriber only on her phone. So she might not be able to put it on subscriber only till she gets back to California and she can get on her son's computer. So I was talking to Lindy, and also I'm able to share with Lindy. I might talk to Carol because Carol knows about the situation, what I was going through. I really appreciate older, wise ladies. I always really do appreciate that. Sometimes they're, I had a situation though with someone who I thought was wise, but I made an unwise choice, I felt like, because she sided with the bullies. Hi. You're a retired therapist? Oh my goodness. Did you get tired? The lady that gave our message after I told her my whole story, after the sermon, because it was an awesome sermon about don't lose your marbles. And she talked about the movie Hook. And that was like a favorite movie of my older kids and I, especially because it came out in 91 when I had two. Yeah. um, but it's, yeah, usually you're older, you have some wisdom, you have some wisdom. So I was able to speak to Lindy today. And so that was comforting, and she was like, you got to do what you got to do, and you're doing the right thing. So I felt better. So, but let me light the candle. Red stars are called flames, so that's why I do this. Hey, Najuma, this little light of mine. Don't go up, don't go up, don't go up. Satan blew it out. And I've been listening to Torrin Wells' song, I'm taking back what the enemy stole. Oh, that gets me going. That gets me praying. It's like a prayer starter thing for me. I listen to that every day now. I love that song. It talks about fear and stuff. Let me do this. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Went out again. It went out again. Thank you all for being here. Boy, you guys popped right on. It must have pop up in your feed because I didn't set it up ahead of time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, so much going on. I Let me play something on my flute. It soothes me, so let me do that. So I have this thing, right? And I didn't notice it. I can't remember exactly when, if I realized it before, and then I heard Joyce Meyer say it, like, all these things happen when you get nervous and when you get anxious. You feel like you have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, so I just, and it just happens to me all the time. And okay, I'll tell you a funny story that I just thought of too. And so it's been happening, like you guys, I told you that just recently I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I just recently realized like that looking back, I didn't really recognize it as anxiety, but I've had nervousness before performing. Like I was in band. I was in marching band. And thank you. Thank you, Granny. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. How are you, Najuma? I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're well. Yeah. So I'll say that some lives that, I didn't want to stop going to some lives. And then just recently, I've stopped going to some lives. I had someone come to my channel from that old group, and I thought that they were my friend. It was a Christian person. And I thought that they were my friend. And it turned out that they were trying, behind in messaging on Facebook. When I looked back at it, I was like, they said this and they said that. And I'm like, out of the group, so I don't know what's going on, right? They said this about this person, they said that about that person, and I was like, I think they were trying to pull me back into it. And then what's funny is that God made me go back into it myself. I felt like it was God that led me back into it and get it was crazy how it all happened. And it was totally all God. And I was totally flabbergasted that the bully that I was just talking about got his ex to take down her video about me. And I was like, wow, are you kidding me? I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that to happen. That was crazy. But so like some places where I might have seen you, Najuma, and then like, I stayed connected with Roy and Becky for a long time too, because they stayed neutral. They were the best at staying neutral. And I didn't really feel like they were, but because of trying to save money too, and just that I'm just like, those people are over there and I just don't feel comfortable there. And then another channel that I like is Magnificent Germany with Darian, where I used to see Najuma. And there's a lot of them over there, and the mole person is over there. So I don't like to hang out with those people. So but there's other people there that I would love to hang out with. But so it's kind of a dilemma for me sometimes. I might still pop in there sometimes. I might pop into Roy and Becky's, but it's just it's hard. It's hard. Hey, Mary. Hi. How are you? It's hot in Colorado today. It rained a little bit, which cooled it off some. It says possible light rain. It's 82 now. That's not too bad. But guys, like, we need to pray. We need to pray. Crystal just shared this on Facebook. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but I don't want to get into politics, but Crystal said, if you believe that a 20-year-old outsmarted the Secret Service, then I have several beachfront properties in Arizona for sale. Yep. I can't. Just things are really, really impressing upon me that, gosh, the world and everything's in chaos. It's just chaos. It's 109 in New Mexico. Yikes. Yikes. Intuition is a powerful thing that is often overlooked by many people, but I'm very grateful to be inverted by myself, but it's a great feeling to be able to touch and enjoy others. Yeah. That is, I need to think of a poem to share. Let me read you The Woman Stuck Inside Her House. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. Let me read you this one first, though. This is called The Woman Stuck Inside Her House. It's about I used to get in debates. That's what I used to tell you. Oh, and I shared go look on my community tab if you haven't seen it. I just sent it to my daughter, my Claire Bear. So my Claire Bear and I, well, actually, all four of my kids. And this was when my Claire Bear was born in 96. My brother, Christopher, was living with us, and he lived with us for 9 months. We tried to help him out. But he was at home sleeping, I think. And I head out. He got a job working for friends of ours at church that had an air conditioning business, which was good. You're at really? Where you are at 7,000 feet? Wow, that's crazy. That's higher elevation than here. Yeah, Flagstaff's a little higher elevation than here. But that's crazy that it would be that hot at 1,000 feet. That is crazy, because that's what keeps it cooler usually. That's why Lindy went to Flagstaff, because it's usually cool. She said it was down to 54. So that's nice. It was down to 54. But they went to Phoenix. It's like, why, Lindy, why? They went to Phoenix to a solar place, and then Mike's van overheated. Did you see that video? Oh my goodness. I was like, Lindy. I said, you keep me praying too. My children keep me praying. Lindy keeps me praying. I keep myself praying. I need help. God, help me. God, help me. I need help. Please, Lord. Let me read you this poem. So I used to get in debates. I was going to show you the picture. So my Claire Bear and all my kids, we went to, when Dole was running against Clinton in 96, Dole was at the Air Force Base, I believe. And that's me right there, and holding Claire Bear. It was at the Air Force Base, and yeah, and my other three kids were 9. So my oldest was 9, Sarah was 9, Teddy was 6, and Ian was 3. And so Sarah got stuck because the Secret Service men came around and were looking with ladies with babies. And there's my grandbaby. Looking for ladies with babies to promote the $1,000 tax credit for each child. Oh, yeah, we used to do that in Tomorrow Will Be Worse. Oh no. So yeah, the Secret Service picked us out of the crowd, and there were 4 ladies holding babies, and I was one of them. And then we were on the front of the Warner Robins. I think it was Warner Robins' son, and that's where I got the picture from. And I used to have my whole family room decorated. It was red, white, and blue. My sofa was red leather sofa. and then the curtains were blue, and it was all decorated. And I had that picture in a frame hanging on the wall. And then I had a little bear. I put the song Lee Greenwood singing "I'm proud to be an American." Had a little bear with red, white, and blue on, and you squeeze his. So I was a patriot. So, but I really don't like. Well, even before I was, but especially after I was assaulted, yeah, I couldn't endorse that candidate, and I changed my views. That was, yeah, it was 2020. It was 2020. That's when that was. But I was changing. They were slowly changing before that. So, yeah. And the funny thing is that my mom and I used to argue about it. But then we, thankfully, before she passed, we stopped talking about, I'm like, this is stupid for us to argue about this. We agree on Jesus. That's the most important thing. Let's stop talking about politics. And so that's why I don't like politics. But, and then again, it's funny that I'm more towards her views now that she's passed on. 2009. Illinois is having a heat wave. Wow. So maybe when it cools down, then you should wait to glamp till it cools down. So this one's about the woman's stuck inside her house. About me, I was debating with my ex-husband's aunt, about religion. It would get to be on religions and politics and all of that, but it was really around the same time when I wrote this. It must have been like, I don't know, early 2000s probably, that I decided like, I don't want to argue, but I was still arguing religion. I don't like to argue either one now. I would still try to argue people into the kingdom and to my way of religious thinking, because I thought it would save you. But I don't want to argue about anything anymore. But this is how this poem came about, anyways, through debating with my husband's aunt. And it says, "Therefore you are inexcusable, O man, whoever you are who judge. For in whatever you judge another, you condemn yourself. For you who judge practice the same things." Romans 2, verse 1. I need a drink. This is my own brewed tea, but I put it in these because I used to take it to work. But it's still nice to have in that. The woman stuck inside her house. Can someone please coax her out? She thinks she's free, but she's not. What is this? Just her sad lot? Peace and love, she says, is the way, but war and hate she speaks all day. The Beatles sang of nowhere man. This woman's also in his land. Can someone help to stop her pain? If Scarecrow only had a brain. She tucks down from her high horse. She can't understand what she does, of course. She's stuck in me, my land, while others try to take her hand. She talks of open-mindedness, yet closes the door on their kindness. Lonely, jealous could she be? Yet she has lots of company. Anger, fear, anxiety. She says you hide in your piety. She judges and says, do not judge. She says she doesn't like to debate, but she starts it up. She is too late. They say you become what you focus on. Well, then I won't worry about her. I'm gone. Are you offended? You shouldn't be, because this poem is about me. So, like, as I was writing the poem, and I don't know, when I came to the conclusion that I was like, I'm doing, when people are pointing at you, they have three fingers pointing back at themselves, and it's like, when you're saying I'm judgy too, you're judging me, even when you're saying I'm judging, it's like, And it's like, we're both guilty. Like let's stop. Let's stop. Let's just stop. Okay. Let's just stop. Stop the arguing. Definitely stop the violence. That's no excuse for that. So, but yeah. So it's warm in here. And I have I have my AC set at to save money. And because I'm generally cold natured. I remember in Boca Raton, Florida, because my dad was cheap. My mom was always trying to set it lower. But my dad, and in Georgia, I think we would usually have the temperature set at 80 degrees. So, oh my goodness. So I had some, oh goodness, it was ridiculous. I had some Airbnb guests who, wanted my AC set at like 65 degrees. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? That's when I turn the heat on. I'm not going to, I was like, ugh. That was one of the many frustrations of doing Airbnb in your home. Hi, Glenn. Hi, how are you? I'll send you a copy of this if you want. I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it. I sent you a message because I give these to anybody who sends a donation of any amount. So, except when the bully contacted me, you guys, he had me blocked. I had him blocked everywhere. So he couldn't even contact me because I had his email blocked. I had him blocked on YouTube. I had him blocked on, he already had me blocked on Facebook. I mean, that was how it started, really. He said, for no reason, he's like, I blocked Red, get over it. And he announced it on his community tab. But so anyways, I had him blocked. So you know how the bully had to contact me? He sent me $1 on PayPal. That's how he had to contact me. I was flabbergasted. That was my Thanksgiving miracle that the bully got, the secondary bully, to take down her video finally, because that's a reminder to pray. Yeah, let's pray. I did want to start this out by praying. So much, gosh, so much going on. I'm thankful to have a faith to back up on, to fall back on. I'm thankful I have God to stand on. I mean, he's all I got, really, he's all I got, and I feel so like really unsupported by my family, especially, my ex, and, I just, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, and because I'm very blessed, but I don't have a good support system, and that's what I would like to work on, is having a better support system. I have you, and I feel like that's why God was like, no. I felt like in my spirit, not like an audible voice, but when I thought, this is ridiculous. I can't stand this stress of being on YouTube, when I had to bully, and then people that I thought were my friends betraying me and going to the bully side and not wanting to be put out of the YouTube clique and the YouTube community. That's, oh, so awesome, this awesome YouTube community. And I'm like, and they're all ganging up, like, grab your pitchforks and your torches, we're gonna get red. I was like, what the heck? Like, get me out of here, get me off of here, God. But I felt like God said, no, stay here, just pull back. I started going, instead of going live once a week, I went live once a month. And that's when I started doing the devotions. I started doing a daily devotion, and that, like, I feel like I'm in that same space. I'm in that same space where I was, where God is saying, sit back, chill, Red, calm down, Susan, just chill, relax. It's going to be okay. Like, haven't I always been there for you? And like, he has, like, he helped me get my house sold in the middle of the pandemic, and selling my house in the middle of the pandemic, and then going up to St. Louis where my friend had moved, and then paying cash for my RV, got all my it felt so good to get all of my debt paid off. That was so awesome. And then paying cash for my hi Betty, paying cash for my RV. And so it all, he worked everything out. And I feel like he even worked it out for me to be at my brother's and with my sister-in-law at precisely the right time. Earlier when she first got ill, and thankfully that was like 30 years almost, because she got ill right after my brother and my sister-in-law got married in 1990 when I was expecting my oldest son. So they were married 30 years, and she had and I think it was 91, she got the breast cancer, and she had it off and on through the years. And so like, God even worked that out. So like, God works everything out. And even in this situation, like I told you guys, I saw the rainbow in Arizona, and I felt like that was so meaningful. I was like, what's going on, God? I saw the rainbow. It gave me hope. Like, what's going on? So, there's stuff going on, and I don't know. Oh, I just had an idea. Maybe that was God. I just had an idea. I just had an idea. So, and maybe that was God. Okay, I just had an idea about the situation, but I can't talk about the situation. So, but anyways, some of you know, but, and I was talking to I'm very thankful for my therapist, and I've been talking to her about it and stuff. And, yeah. So, like, everything, God has always worked things out for me. And I even been thinking lately that I don't need to rush to get out of this apartment, that I feel like God actually, put me here, and I felt like when I first saw the apartment, I was just like, yes, this is it. Yes. And I only got in this apartment because I wasn't making enough. I wasn't making anything. I didn't have a job. I only got in this apartment because I had just had, and the manager here at the apartments too said, that's the first time we've ever done it that way. Because instead of looking at proof that, I get paid this much so I can afford your apartment, they looked at my bank account, and the money from my inheritance had just gone in there. So they're like, okay, she's good. I'm like, I'll pay. And I only did a 6-month lease or whatever. So anyways, God has me right here. And it's just like, chill, it's going to be okay. I'm like, I quit my job. What am I going to do? But it's like, You guys, I haven't had a like real job since I left, since I separated from my husband. I haven't been able to find a real job. So that's the first like uh you know real the lifeguarding was the first real job I had in 35 years. I worked in a doctor's office when I was expecting my oldest daughter. So my oldest is just a little bit younger than the VP guy now. He's going to be 40. That's the same age as Gladys. He's going to be 40 this year. The VP candidate. Time is our most valuable resource. Time is important. Yeah. Definitely don't want to waste it. Yeah. And I said I was going to pray, and I didn't really pray, did I? Dear Lord, thank you for this day and for this time. I pray you bless all these YouTube followers, Lord. We pray for our country. We pray for you to stifle and stop any violence, Lord, that you would please help the people protecting people, the Secret Service people, the police and everything. Would you help them to respond correctly and swiftly in situations like this that come up again, Lord? And we pray for those people that were injured, Lord, that you would swiftly help them recover, Lord, that you would comfort them, that you would comfort the family of the man, Corey, who died, Lord. My heart goes out to them. And I just pray that you would comfort them. And it just breaks my heart, Lord. Lord, just please help this country, Lord. I pray that you would help us all prepare for whatever happens as a result of these elections. And Lord, that you would just, that your will would be done, Lord. Then you would help each of us to be instruments and examples of peace and examples of love and examples of kindness, Lord. Help us all in our lives and help me in this situation. In my family, Lord, please give me wisdom. I'm just at a loss of what I can do and what to say, even, Lord, what to do, and just please give me wisdom and guide me, Lord. It says in James that you will, if any of you seeks wisdom, that you should ask, Lord. I'm asking, Lord. I'm asking for wisdom, that you help me to do what's best for my family member. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, finding a job that you like to do is hard. I enjoyed the lifeguarding, but I am a writer. I feel like that's what God's called me to do. And I have a whole other book of poetry ready. I know what, it's just like so many things have discouraged me and so many things have held me back. And like, I even think, I was just thinking the other day and I had a revelation. I was like, I don't really know if I was supposed to get that job, that was fear driving me then, because the whole time I've had, and the situation with my family member started at that time in August. But I did feel like it was miraculous, and it was a boost to my morale that I was finally able to, because that was another thing that was so depressing too, is like, I can't even find, I'm such a loser. And I posted that poem on, because it came up when I was talking to Angie, who did the sermon about Don't Lose Your Marbles on Sunday. I came out, I said, I wrote a poem that's called Leaving Neverland that was about Peter Pan. And I was going to show you. I need to get this book republished. I need to find a regular there's all these things I need to do. I need to work on my YouTube. And ever since I started working, which was, I got the job in August, but I wasn't trained till September. And then I started the beginning of October. So ever since I started the job, my YouTube, well, it was probably maybe a couple months in, but my YouTube watch time started going down. And yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know. But see, God takes things and he still uses them in your life. And even if that's why, like Joyce Meyer says, like, step out and find out. She's like, when she was trying to figure out what God wanted her to do, she would just try things and they wouldn't work, And so like I did that and it didn't really work. And, when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I get more anxiety. And, yeah, continue to follow your dreams and time will be your reward and give yourself more opportunities to succeed in your own destiny. Yeah. So, so the thing I was talking about that so when I get anxious, I feel like I need to go to the bathroom, and it happened again when I was about to go live. I still get nervous about going live. And so, especially like, I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I'm in this argument with myself. No, don't talk about politics. No, I have to talk about politics. No, don't talk about politics. Forget it. And then that it happened during Glow's live. It happened during Glow's live. And the other moderators were timing people out for saying it, I missed them, of course. I was just like, oh, okay, we're not talking politics, but it was, something, it was, it wasn't bad, or, this person was offended, like they're being censored, but she said it in a weird way too. It just like, I was like, what is that? And so I looked up and I was like, oh, wow. But they kept, I'm like, y'all moderators, come over to Lindy's because she has some real icky trolls, that aren't just like telling you the news. I just said, like, y'all go check the news when we're done here. It's just like, it's just not supposed to be talking about it, or not, but at the end, Carol's one that wants to be informed too. And so at the end of the live, she went and looked it up and she was like, oh. And I like too that she mentioned the verse in 2 Chronicles. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, then I will turn and heal. Well, let me put that I put it in the chat at the Glow Live. So the thing that I like is Bible Gateway. So it's in 2 Chronicles, and it's where they were doing the opening up. I believe it's where Solomon was finished building the temple. It's 2 Chronicles 7:14. Let me see if I can. Oh my goodness. That wasn't what I thought I had highlighted. What in the world? It put this big long thing into the chat. Okay, I have to delete most of this. Okay, there it is. It's, wait. There we go. 2 Chronicles 7:14. But yeah, so that's what it happened. The shooting happened when I was moderating at Glow. And then I was like, we got some real annoying and horrible trolls that are coming to Lindy's. I was like, so that's what Lindy and I were talking about today, about what we can do. And she has me as like the head managing moderator. So I need to see what that means, what else I can do. I'm going to see what I can do. So, because they come in quick, they're just annoying, they're disruptive, and they're not just telling you what, these people weren't trolls that they were deleting their messages at Carol's, and I was just like what? Because I'm always like, what's going on? What's happening here? Trying to say hi to everybody, and there's a lot of people at Gloria's Life on Wheels live and at Lindy's live. I'm trying to say hi to everybody, and then you're whack-a-mole. You're trying to get the trolls, and it's like whack-a-mole, and one pops up here, and you get them, and then another one pops up. It's like whack-a-mole, whack-a-troll. Yeah, I've heard it described that way by several people, and it's a lot like that. So, I want to tell you. So the first time this book came out in 2015. I was still living. I did this book in 2015 when I was still living in my ex's house. I didn't move out of his house until we lived together when we were separated for 2 years in the house. We were renting out the smaller house. 90% are positive and 10% are negative. Of what? Yeah. Having the videos pushed out does give international exposure, which is nice. Yeah. I have friends everywhere now. That's why I'm supposed to be talking to Valentina this week. So like last year at this time, I was in Europe and I was in Lisbon, Portugal. And see, that's the reason why I got the job when I got back, is because my financial advisor was on my case about spending all the money for my dad. And so that's why I got the job. But I do feel like, it was, I'm glad I did it now. It was just like, it was like one of those things. It's like, it wasn't a sin, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I really wasn't supposed to do that, but I did it now, and I learned a lot from it. It was just like one of those things. I was just like, wow, I think I probably, maybe I would have been monetized by now if I hadn't have gotten the job. But anyways, we're still going. God said, stay on YouTube. So here I am on YouTube. I think she has the right idea with the members only stream after the first. Tell her for the late so they can chat. Yeah, so the part you go to customize your video, your live, it's on the computer and it's not on, she's just on her phone. And that's what I was afraid of. That's what I thought was going to happen. And she said too, she's like, I looked everywhere. I don't think I can do that on my phone. And I'm like, I looked too, and I don't think you can. So she's like, we'll figure this out. But she said, you're a managing moderator, so figure out what else I can do. She made more people moderators to help me. Because she knows I'm like trying to get these people to, and she's timing them out. She's blocking them too. Because she'll see them sometimes before me. Because I need to get faster. I'm usually just trying to say hi to everybody. And so, but with hers, I need to focus more on these trolls because they've been bad recently. But if you look at her last lives, they all have more views than the other lives before the trolls started being so bad. They can hold improper comments for review. You don't have that much time to, I might be able, you know what I should see? If I can turn hers, maybe I should go see if I can turn her live on to, I should see that. Huh. Yeah, she can schedule them ahead of time, and that's what she was going to do. But so we were just trying to figure out, for the, what I tried. Let me see something. I'm going to see if I can do it. Because last time I tried to do it during my live, and I don't know if it worked. Tell me if this works. Does it pop up there? So like right now, I'm going in to edit this. Let me see if this works. And I can put it on subscribers only for 5 minutes. I can put it on slow mode, but I usually don't do 60 seconds. I usually do like 20 seconds. Let's see if this works. Changes saved. Now, are you guys slowed down? Did it come up? Did you guys see anything? Let me see. I don't know if I can do it during it. I tried to do it last live, or maybe it was Monday's live. Let me see. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, see, I did it. Yeah, you schedule them in your computer, but see, Lindy doesn't have a computer. She does all her YouTube on her phone. I video and record. I used to set up my live sometimes at work on my phone. Some people would take in their computer to work, but I didn't do that because I didn't really feel like I had enough time, especially when they started saying, you have to do the scum line, you have to do the slide inspection, blah, 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 blah. You have chores to do. I was like, I don't have time to bring my computer in to send a message every 20 seconds. Okay. Slow mode was on point. Okay. Yeah, I just did that. I don't really usually do slow mode, but when I had, the problem with the bullies, and I was concerned more about troll. I had more problem with trolls then too. And you guys, I was looking. I've been reviewing, and I was like, hey, this is good. I am um, preparing like sort of an outline, because what I'm going to write, I already have like a bunch of poems. Like I'm going to read you, hey, Sam. Hi. I need a lot of therapist friends like Darcy and Sam. Oh, the lady who gave the message at church was a therapist too, and like after I feel like I need to pay you for a session after this. And uh, yeah, I'm okay. Thank you so much for popping in, Sam. I want to show you the marble I got. So when we went up to get communion, we have communion every Sunday at our church, which is so nice. She let us pick a marble. And so each time after she has a therapy session, she used to just do it with the kids, but now she does it with all of her clients. She has them get a marble. And the message was "Don't lose your marbles," and it was about Toodles in the movie Hook. So I want to show you my marble. I want to show you the marble I got. Yes, thanks for popping in, Sam. I need to get over there and leave a comment. Sometimes I'll watch a video and then not leave a comment, and then that's not good. See, I got a marble. It's red. It's red. So. Yeah, my therapist that I found on BetterHelp is in Texas, but she's certified in Colorado. So that's why that's the only way you can do it over here. So yeah, so she can't give me a marble either. But I want to read you the poem that I posted on my community tab. So yeah, so this is my journal I got at I think I got this in Branson. An outdoor life is a well-lived life, is a life well-lived. But this was December 14th, and I was 17 away from 500. Oh, I love her paper cranes. So Sam leaves paper cranes for people with an encouraging little message on them. I love that. Oh, and I made a comment that's funny, interesting. In December 2021, trolls get satisfaction from putting people down. And I don't think I want to go live anymore. So I was looking back at a journal from the time when I did, will this be Red's farewell live, which is my most viewed live. And yeah, I was saying I don't think I want to go live anymore. I didn't even want to go live anymore. I didn't even want to be on YouTube anymore. Yeah. So I did a little, like, I have to look. It was really hard because I had to throw away some of my journals and just pray I didn't throw away any poems because some poems I wrote in my journal, but I had so many journals, I threw away some of my journals when I downsized. Oh yeah, so here it is. I can remember they got up to 17K. So yeah, no, I'm not getting, yeah, I'm talking about before. And this was in 2021 when the bully did his live about me. But I'm talking about it because when you can't even post to my Facebook anymore. Well, that's one you got taken from you, right? Didn't you say that? Doesn't have to be a season. I mean, that doesn't have to happen, hopefully. So you guys, when that happened, I had like 17, like to compare, I have like, I think 6,000 views in a month now in the last 28 days when I go into my analytics. I had 17,000. And here, right here, I put my views are at 13.8 thousand, 13,000, as opposed to like I get, I don't know how much like Carol and Lindy get a bunch, but yeah. I started over again slow. Like I said, that's when I started going. So I feel like I'm in a similar season. I hope to make more progress in this season because I'm finally content and happy to live alone. And I went through a lot to get to that point because I found that in the bully situation and even in the situation when I was living with Gladys is that I have this conflict with this toxic person, and it was the roommate at Gladys's. And then just like in the YouTube community, I'm like aghast to see that my quote unquote friend is on the toxic person's side because he was paying more than me. It was like, so I feel like even in this place now, and like I said, I'm like, God put me here. I don't want to leave here until God okays, like, you're okay to leave here. You know what I mean? And so like he put me here to heal. I don't have any, I live alone. I don't have any distractions. I can write, there's nobody here to leave my roommate. My son, I mean, my younger son, I didn't really talk to my older son about it. My son that had college roommates didn't have a roommate as bad as I had, leaving his in the toilet. I mean, oh my goodness. So, but yeah, my here I said they were 13,000 in a month, but I remember they went up to 17,000. That's why they got mad and then they did another video about me. It was crazy. So, but I had to step back from my mental health. I was so filled with, like everybody hates me. I don't want, but yeah, that's my most viewed live. It's on my community tab. So if you go in, so yes, it was lovely to have you here. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much too, Glenn. Yes. Yes, I'm saying, yeah. I, Yeah, I definitely know that you know God wanted me to stay. It says I have 3 watching. Really? Is that right? But thank you all for being here. Let's see what YouTube says. Yeah, it says 3 watching. Thank you all for being here. But yeah, I'm not monetized. I'm still not monetized, Glenn. So that's why I don't have that. I don't have memberships. I haven't gotten to, and like that's why too, like I wanted to show you in here. That's what like I would have been if it wasn't for what the bullies did to me, I would have been monetized by now. So thank you for being here, Mary. So yeah, it says 2 watching now. So yeah, I don't even have memberships. So they changed it. So back then when I didn't even have a community tab to like chat with y'all on, because they used to not give you that until you got to 500. And so a cool story about that was I prayed at that Christmas, and that was like, I was alone that Christmas. So I remember I had been alone Christmas 2019, because Christmas 2018, I went to my ex. My kids got me to go to my ex's. I went to my ex's. And so, but that Christmas 2021, I was at Gladys's. I was with the horrible roommate was there. I don't want to spend the holidays with this person. Yeah, we got into it too. We got into an argument on Christmas. But I prayed. I was at like 495, and I wanted to have that community tab because they didn't used to give it to. Now they give it to everybody. They keep changing things. And before you had to have 500 now, and 3,000 watch hours will get you the memberships and super chats and all of that. And then you'll get ads at 1,000, which I already have 1,000, and 4,000 watch hours. So yeah, I'm not monetized, y'all. I'm not making any. That's why I wanted to quit. I'm not making any money on this. I'm not making any money on this. And so I got a job, but then I'm farther away from being monetized because I didn't have time to do YouTube as much. So anyways, so at Christmas in 2021, when I was going through all that, and another big channel that I moderated for unmoderated me, blaming me because she found out I wrote that blog post about joking about, I'll pray for my enemies. I'll pray for him to die. It was just a joke. And that's what they ended up doing the second video about that. And then they took that one down immediately. But his first video stayed up, and it got up to like 600 something views, and he didn't take it down until, I think it was 2023. I think it was last year, like early last year. But he took the second video down immediately, which was good because it was ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than the first one. They were both ridiculous, but anyways, it was even more of a stretch. Let's say that. They're at like two, I was so close to 3. I was like 60 away from, 3,000. And, I was like 60 away from 3,000, and now I'm at 2,492 because it started going down. Yeah. Yeah. I feel I'll get there. It's just, I don't want to be depending too much on others. And even like, because that's what that community group was. They were like using each other. And really, I became, I was a little fish. Let's say I was a little fish in a little pond. They were all little YouTubers. Even the bully himself, he had 4,000, subscribers because he did these dog videos and they got 1 million views, and he got all these subscribers that way from these shorts. And oh, thanks, Mary. I'm gonna be doing more videos, and I did one of my food today, what I was eating, and I'm gonna do more videos on like mental health and lots of stuff and travel. And I'm going to be sharing my old videos more so people will watch that. And I probably will make a playlist. But my thing was I wanted to get genuine organic growth. And I didn't want to be like riding anybody else's coattails, because that's what those people in that old community, toxic community, were doing. It was like they were this, they'd join each other's memberships and they'd do this and they promote each other and they go live after each other. And they were just all like, now I look at it now and I'm like, they're just all enmeshed. They're just all codependent and enmeshed. And some of them were, alcoholic, codependent, drinking, getting drunk on lives. And it's a mess. I'm like, I don't need to be with any more dysfunctionalness. Thank you very much. And I said like, and playing each other's playlists. I don't think that's not organic. That's not real views. And that's why like I made, maybe I'm shooting myself in the own foot, but I'm just like, don't just play I want you to watch my videos. I want to get genuine views here, So, we went up to 4. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. But I didn't want to be like riding anybody else's coattails, and but anyways, I feel like I got out of that pond and into a bigger pond, and I didn't even know Lindy was going to take off. I interviewed Lindy when her channel was less subscribers than mine, and she wasn't monetized. Hi, Sylvia. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'll probably go 2 hours. It seems like a lot of people come in later, So I was looking at my lives, and they seem to do, the ones where I go 2 hours seem to do better. So, and then I'm probably going to keep going live on Friday. And I just have a bunch of stuff I need to, yeah, I'm glad you found me. And so I didn't realize. And so the smaller, I was really upset about it because she was a friend. I have a video with her on my channel. And she interviewed me too. And she took that video and it's still unlisted. It's not really public, but so this smaller channel, it was a bigger channel than because all of those ones in that community were all little channels. Like like I said, the YouTube bully, he had 4,000. And I assumed people with that many subscribers were just monetized, but he wasn't monetized. He wasn't even monetized because he didn't have enough watch time. But when he bashed me and did his live bashing me, that got him the watch time, and he got monetized. And then all my friends went to his monetization party. And I was like, no, I don't do those hand signals, but I wanted to. Yeah, so I'm not. Yeah, since I quit my job, see, I'm not, and I feel like, the job was good for a while, and but yeah, I really don't think I think that was kind of like my idea, and that, my financial advisor was getting on my case, and even one of my friends, I won't say who, was getting on my case. And so, yeah. Look out for the 3 backwards pointing fingers. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's why I do the devotions, because I am passionate about it, and it was just what calmed me down and made me I would do the videos on the devotions, and not this one, but I would do several other devotionals, and I'd say, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me, so yeah. So, and I'm thankful that because the bully once followed me into Carol's live and said, what would you do if someone was praying for you to die? It's trying to get me fired, but I just I remained I kept my cool, and Carol didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, well, maybe that will come back on them then. So look out for the 3 backwards pointing fingers. What are you talking about, Mary? What are you talking about? So what I wanted to share with you is this route. Okay, so before I memorized my own poems, I learned to say them. And before I guess I didn't think about, I was just starting to notice spoken word poetry stuff. Hey, where did you go, Anthony? Good to see you. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. How's it going, Anthony? You just got home. Home where is home these days, Anthony? Where are you? Yeah, I usually go into them and just say how it applies to me. So, oh, yes, okay. I was thinking you just got back from a cruise or back from Disney or something. New York. I mean, are you in Florida or are you in New York? Or in California? You never know where Anthony is now. Florida usually, right? But yeah. So I have 6 watching now. See, like the views seem to go up as the live goes on, and so I'm finding that the ones that I do that are 2 hours long seem to get more views. But yeah, I have a lot going on now, but I feel like I'm in the same sort of place. So when I stopped traveling in my RV, it was October 2021. And that was also the time when I gave my life back to God and said I was going to stop, running from him. And oh, you're going on a cruise in August. Cool. Mesa. You have peeps in here tonight from all the hot spots. From all the hot spots, yeah. Yeah, it's like every place is a hot spot now. It was getting up to 98. Was it today? Yeah, so that's really hot for here. Trying to look at it. What does it say? Yeah, it's not too bad the rest of the week. Tomorrow's a high of 86. Today was up to 92. But one day it was up to 98. That was like crazy. That was not, I think that was yesterday. But anyways, so this is what a zealot I was before I got Jesus tattooed on my hand. Oh, it's still 100 right now, even right now, because it's, what is it, 8 o'clock there? That's crazy. But the sun is, my Alaska people are nice and cool. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't get too hot in Hawaii either, really. It doesn't get that hot there because it's all like coastal. Storms help though. That's why it cooled down here, because it started raining a little bit ago. Chance of light rain now in the next hour. It's 78 now. Yeah, that's perfect. See, that's what I set my air. I set my air at 80. So, but anyway, so I learned this thing called the 1 minute sermon. And it's funny because I ended up meeting the person who wrote it. And the person who wrote it ended up being like, she ended up being a scammer. But it's funny. But so I learned this thing. So before I started memorizing my poems, I memorized this thing called the 1 minute sermon. And I'm going to see if I can say it. I don't know if I have it written down anywhere. I used to have it on my YouTube. But see, when I started my YouTube oversee, when I was away from God, I was trying to, I couldn't change. All my poems were about God, That's what slowed me down too. And was when I was away from God, because that, of course, wasn't God's plan. But he even took that and taught me a lot through that time. I could sit and beat myself up over it, but God loves me and he doesn't. And I always say, like, he left 99, left them all behind to find me. That's an audio adrenaline song. And I always say, like, I was like Jonah and I was running from God and got swallowed by the whale and got swallowed by the toxic YouTube community. and I was like, how dumb is that? I didn't drink before. I didn't even drink before, like, how dumb is that? I'm not going to get drunk on YouTube. And the next thing you know, there's Red drunk on YouTube. I was in the Alabama Hills with these two YouTubers, and they gave me a glass of bourbon. I had never had bourbon. One glass of bourbon, and I was drunk. Yep. Oh, I bet that's nice up there. Vancouver Island has the best weather right now. My mother is visiting Vancouver Island area right now and she loves it there. That's nice. Sun won't go down for another 50 minutes or so. No, that's yeah. And I'm not. No offense to you, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Texas. I'm not a big fan of the desert, really. I like the desert, but thank you. Thank you, Euphoric Granny. I believe in positive energy too. I call it prayers. Sometimes I say that, I'm sending you, because I don't know what people believe in, and like sending you prayers and positive energy. I mean, that's what prayer is, anyways. It's positive energy, but anyways, some might disagree. I mean, old me probably would have disagreed with that. I was such a dogmatic pain in the butt. I was. Not dropping my shades in the fan yet. Do you have a van, Glenn, or a RV, or what? So wait. Message from one of I need to let's pray again, okay? Because I need to know if I need to answer this message or not. East Texas is desert, but I can't say. Too much concrete holes in a lot of the heat, though. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's some pretty parts of Texas, but I finally went to the beach when I went there because I went to Texas in 2023 in February to go see my youngest. And I finally went to the beach there. But it's not as pretty. I like the beach in. Hi, Larkwood. Hi, thank you for being here. Like I said, 5 watching. Thank you for being here. Hopefully getting more views going 2 hours instead of just an hour. Because I usually go over anyways. So it's hard to find a van, let alone an RV that people can afford. Yeah. Yeah. And so now I'm not sure about if I would really. I need a home base. I just feel better to have a home base and travel in a van. I'm not sure I could do it again where I kind of had a home base by Gladys, and then I had a home base by my brother in California, but to just go out and not really have a home base. I mean, you have to have an address somewhere. Your tags have to say state on them. You have to have somewhere. There's mail forwarding businesses, but I don't know. I'm looking for a pickup. Ridiculous prices on both new and used. Think I'm going with a UTV instead. Yeah, I really love my car, so I don't know about I have to have a house. Yeah, I feel like I have to have a house too. I mean, I feel like eventually I want a house where like I have a yard and like a garden, and that the HMOs are just like some people are saying like HMOs are a scam, you know? And like my son's friend Albert has bought 2 condominiums now. He just bought the second one and he rents them out um, to people and he just had to get rid of a renter that was a messy renter, um, like that one I had in St. Louis. And so I like to garden like my daughter does, um, too, and I like to cook, so I like to have a big kitchen. So yeah, if I did it again, it would be only temporary again, you know. But anyways, I still have like 6 months to think about it because I wouldn't be, and my lease isn't up until February, and I can renew it for another year or renew it for 6 months. So yeah, that's where I am. But anyways, so I want to try and say, let me see if I can say this 1 minute sermon, this thing that I memorized. And then when I saw like these spoken word things, like I probably first saw them on YouTube or I might have saw them on Facebook, I was like, hey, I can, I memorized this thing. You burned out on it because, oh, like raising your kids. Raising your kids in van life, that's be difficult. There's people that travel though. I liked the channel, and Gladys like said she was going to try it, but she's just single. But she has a pit bull, so she wouldn't be able to take him a lot of places, not RV parks, anyways. But yeah, I believe in living in a house when you're raising children now. But there's what's it called? Less junk, more journey, I think it's called. With a young couple with the 2 little kids that they've been in a number of different rigs, and they go all over with their kids. So you sure you wouldn't like life on the road if I wasn't single? I've thought the opposite. I've thought the opposite, Mary. I've thought like I need a man to do the stinky slinky and drive sometimes, and here I'm driving this big thing. I hate driving it. And I don't got anybody else, like I don't got anybody else to say like, oh wait, was I supposed to turn there? Well, now my mom used to be like the navigator. She'd have the map, but I mean, you don't need that as much now. But I was, on my own. I'd be like, let me like try to reach, I'm driving and I'm trying to reach, where'd I drop my snacks? Oops, they flew back there, and I don't have anybody, I love my peace. I love my peace too. But I've thought the opposite, that I'd like to go on the road if I had someone to help me, someone to do some of the driving. But I then went like all over the place and too short. Like I definitely would do it differently if I did it again. So I would plan more. I would stay places longer. Like I love the channel. She does most on YouTube. I mean, on Instagram now, Slow Roamer. She's on Instagram. I'll share with you my Instagram. But she's also on YouTube. I think she's doing a little bit on. She has a cat named Moo, and she has a cool She has a cool retro RV. She calls it Mander. It's called a Commander, but she renovated it. Slow roamers come up. But her channel's not coming up. Let me see if it will come up. Yeah, there's a channel called Slow Roamers, so that's coming up. But yeah, so I definitely do lots of things different. I would try to plan more ahead, but it is like hard to plan ahead. But if you're on Instagram, that one is mine. This is Slow Roamer on Instagram. You had a cat named Moo also. I think that might have been my friend Diana's cat too that passed away because it's black and white like a cow. Well, her cat Moo is not black and white like a cow. I don't know why his name is Moo. I just watched a cool video that was what are their names? Tara and Nate? Is it Tara and Nate? Where they went to these cool Airbnbs. It came on after. I'll often watch the video that comes on after the lives, and it came on after Carol's live for some reason. I think it's Tara and Nate. And it was all these cool Airbnbs in cool Airbnbs in Joshua Tree. I'm smiling, and I'm glad that's an option. Yeah, I'd be slipping into my bed in the middle of the night. But this makes me think of Tara and Nate because they had this one that was outdoors. The bed was outside. And it got really cold at night in the desert. So that's why they decided. But they're like, there's coyotes. They said there was bears. They said there was, they were reading the thing on the Airbnb. There's bears, there's bobcats, there's mountain lions. And their bed was outside, but they also had a bed. The Airbnb also had a bed inside. And so like they were honest, they didn't have to be honest because they put in this video on, they could just put them going to bed outside, which they did. But they said they went inside in the middle of the night. So that made me think of that. And then there was this cool one that was just all windows, and it was big and long, and it had a pool. And go watch that video if you're interested. It was really pretty cool. Tara and Nate. I found them through Eamon and Beck. I like to watch Eamon and Beck too, and they just had one where Eamon was with a baby for 48 hours by himself. It's cute at their cabin up in the by a lake. They're up in Canada. So, but okay, this 1 minute sermon I was going to say for you. Sleep with my door open. Oh, yeah. You sleep with your door open. That's brave, depending on where you are. I guess you don't sleep in the city then, because I wouldn't sleep with my door open in the city. Yeah, right after I had stayed with my son for a little bit when I first came to Denver. And then right after I moved out, they got this new roommates, and their car was stolen right out of their condominium's parking lot, right out of their spot in the condominium. I was like, what? That's crazy. So anyways, the 1 minute sermon, it goes like this. To be a survivor in this amazing race with a need for speed, you need God's grace. So if you're desperate like housewives watching Days of Our Lives, you can't cope without hope, and that's not on a soap. If you're looking to Oprah or Dr. Phil, you can shop nonstop or pop a pill, but the boy won't fill and the pain won't kill till you love the one who hung on the hill. Sitting back in your lazy boy easy chair watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. No, you're not going to find it there. No American Idol or Council Tribal has the final answer that will satisfy you. CSI ain't got a clue. SVU don't know what to do. Not the ER, the OC, nothing on the TV, DVD, or MP3 can save you and me. CNN's got no good news. Here's a headline you must choose. It's not a simple life, Paris Hilton. It's treading on thin ice, living in sin. You can be an apprentice for Donald Trump, or you can eat Fear Factor fast food from a dump. You can be a heavy hitter, a Wheel of Fortune winner, a Fox News no-spin spinner, or a flat-out sinner. But you better be checking this life that you're living and be sure your sins are forgiven. I bet you 50 cents. Elvis and Michael then came and went, and eventually every Back-Eyed Pea, Gwen Stefani, P. Diddy, Britney, every wannabe on MTV with their icy bling, every Dixie chick that sings, they're all going to see the King of Kings. I don't care if you're J-Lo, Leno, or Bono. One thing you got to know, one day you're going to die, bro. Then where are you going to go? I'm not talking some punk junk that's out of date like your grandma's church from way back when. It's not some preacher featured on TBN that you need to be liking or listening. The real superstar is Jesus Christ. He's the way and the truth and the life. One day he's going to split the sky. He's the brightest light and the highest high. So what I came here for, and what I'm telling you, is don't buy that stupid stuff they be selling you. It's all designed to fill your head and waste your space until you're dead. Here's the bottom line of my rhyme. Give your life to God while there's still time. So that was called The 1 Minute Sermon by Tamara Lowe, who's a scammer. Don't buy anything she sells. Don't join her group. She's a scammer. So yeah, that's what a zealot I was about, like witnessing. Yeah, I was a zealous witnesser. So yeah, and that was like, I learned that before I started learning my own poems and stuff. So, but I want to say the Leaving Neverland one that I posted on my community tab. I was like, I went, when I told the Angie who did the sermon about don't lose your marbles, and about that, she was saying that like Peter, really, he's the one that lost his marbles because he forgot who he was, and he couldn't fly, and he was afraid of heights, and he got into just, making money, and was neglecting his children, time with his children, and all of that. So okay, this is the one I posted on my community tab, and it was because I wasn't seeing my daughter more and more. I wasn't seeing her. When I first moved out of the house in 2016, like, she came to the smaller house and she had never seen it because we had rented it out, and we moved into the big house when she was 6 months old, my youngest. So we moved into the big house in 2021, and she was 6 months old, and she was like, we really all lived in this house, because there was 7 of us. She's the 5th child. She's like, we really all lived in this house? And I was like, yeah, you were smaller then. The boys' room and the girls' room, and Lydia was mostly in our bedroom. And she had a little cradle in there because there was 3 bedrooms. And yeah, so that was the first time she saw the house. And so she lived with my ex and like from 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, I was seeing her less and less. At first she wanted to play basketball. I would get up at 2:30 a.m. because they were doing the basketball team, the girls' basketball team would practice before school because of something they were doing to the thing. And so we would meet her, and even her school is way out in the boonies. It was even far away from our house in the county where she went to school. But I came from the next town over, Warner Robins. And so I would get up at 3:30 in the morning before she was driving and go to take her to this, the grocery store where her coach would pick her up and take her to go to practice. Yeah. But her dad only supported them playing soccer, and that's all. And he didn't want to do it. So he wouldn't, he would go into work that early too, because he was a workaholic. And then that was all my fault too, because, he had to pay his alimony. Blamed everything on me. Everything's my fault. It's all my fault. So, but anyway, so we had some interaction, and I really taught her how to drive. I remember I let her drive my car when I was in Texas. And I said, yeah, I taught you how to drive. And she's like, no, Dad taught me how to drive. And I was like, yeah, stick shift, he didn't teach you. I was like, what? It's like brainwashing or rewriting history. I'm like, I taught you to drive. What are you talking about? But anyway, so, and then, so she was living at his house, and the school was in his school district, and she was still playing soccer. And I think she ran cross country too, but he would never support that. He would only support soccer. And so anyways, and then I told you the funny story is like I was doing Airbnb and I was still trying to find a job too, because I was like, I don't know. And, in like the spring season, like when people were going down to Florida, it was good, but it wasn't constant and stuff. And I was still trying to find a regular job. And it was so demoralizing because nobody would hire me. This was pre-COVID, and so, yes, they're barking at me. That's funny. So anyways, I felt like my daughter, we were, and then it's just complicated my family. And so I told the story. I said the story before where we both went for open interviews unbeknownst to each other for Chick-fil-A. And guess what? Guess who they hired? They hired my that was her first job. Well, no, she worked at the camp. All my kids worked at the Christian camp that was down the street from our house in Georgia. It was a nice Christian camp. They'd work there every summer. So it wasn't her first job. It was like her second job. But, they hired her and they didn't hire me. I would start to go to Chick-fil-A to see her. And I fixed up, and what's funny is I fixed a room for her. And I fixed the room for her and for my sons at my house because I had 3 bedrooms. And I wanted them to come see me or stay with me if they wanted to. Not very often. My sons were at college at the University of Georgia. And so I did at Georgia. That ended up being my most popular. But I fixed the room for my kids to come see me. And then when I was traveling, it was one of the friends I met at a mission trip to Mexico who kept talking about Airbnb and Airbnb and Airbnb. And Airbnb is cheaper than a hotel. And she was talking about it to stay places when you go places. But I thought like, well, maybe I can do that to make money. And so that's when I started doing Airbnb. And it turns out my most popular room was the Georgia Bulldog room. I had a Georgia Bulldog blanket, and the room was red. And I had like a gray and was it gray and red? I had red sheets and gray and red, and I had a Georgia Bulldogs blanket, and I got a little bulldog too. Got a little bulldog to put in the room, and so yeah. But I fixed the room. I fixed the blue room for my daughter, and I had this dream. I had a dream that she was asleep, and what's scary is I would have dreams that would come true, which is scary when you have a bad dream. So I had this dream. I woke up and she was sleeping in her bed. And then I wrote this poem. And it did happen. She did spend the night one night in her bed. She came over to see me. So it was nice. But like on the weekends. And when she learned to drive, and I took her for her test, I taught her to drive and I took her for her test. Then she got her license, and my ex got his mom to get a new car and give her her old car. And then, she didn't need me to give her a ride anymore. So that was a way we drifted apart too. And so I wrote this poem. And it's about I used to read to my youngest two all the time. And this was even like when they were 10, they're 4 years apart. So maybe Claire was 10 and Lydia was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 6. And I would read to them. The Chronicles. It started when the Chronicles of Narnia movie came out. So I was reading them The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and we went through all of those. And I'd read them Harry Potter, and I'd read them. Oh, we went through all these books. Percy Jackson, the series of unfortunate events. And so anyways, that's where this poem came out of. And it's called Leaving Neverland. And I have a quote from Peter Pan at the beginning. The children waited for her cry of joy, but it did not come. She saw them, but then she saw them in their beds so often in her dreams that she thought this was just the dream still. She sat down in the chair by the fire, where in the old days she had nursed them. J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan. And that dream gave me hope that she will come home from Neverland. And also in this movie, in this poem is a quote from, and it's in the Hook movie too, where at the end where the kids come back and she sees them and she doesn't think it's them, because that Spielberg, I think, took that from Peter Pan, the original. And also there's a verse in Jeremiah that I have that I got a long time ago for my children, and it says, refrain your eyes from tears and your voice from weeping, for your children shall come back to their own border. Your children shall return from the land of the enemy. There is hope in your future. Your work shall be rewarded, and your children shall come back to their own border. And that's in this poem too. So it's called Leaving Neverland. I awoke to see her in her bed, like so often in my dreams. We read in bed not so long ago about the land of Narnia and the boy who lived, those demigods and unfortunate kids, their parents who died in a fire. Will my kids always see me as a loser mom who lived? Can't even find a job. I'm nothing without Bob. What did I work all those years for? Why did he always want more? Why did I let them control and disrespect me? When will they ever come back from the land of the enemy? See who is truly the bad guy here. The mom who read and sang to us. Jesus loves you. You are my sunshine. Let me be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. And they did. I used to sing that to my oldest son, is Teddy. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. And they did. They all did. I did what I thought they wanted. He always said before, you have a job. I would say, I need a job. He'd say, you have a job. So I cooked, I cleaned, I went to games, I took the lead. I'm taking a break now from serving you. It's my turn. For so long, I tried to do just what they wanted me to. Time to grow up. People pleasing can't be done. They're never satisfied like Mick Jagger. But God's yoke is easy, his burden is light, his path is right, shining ever brighter unto the perfect day. He won't take my sunshine away like you did. Your children used to read to you. Yeah, they'd read themselves too. I mean, they were old enough to read themselves, but I would read to them. Claire would go to sleep, and I read to Claire more often than Lydia, and Lydia would fall asleep sooner. She was younger. And sometimes Ian would come in too. Those are my three youngest. And Ian would be brushing his teeth and he'd be listening too, because all those books he liked. And we read Aragon, which is the one about the dragons. And we started reading, what's that one? They made movies out of all of these. I'm trying to think of it. The one that's, I'm trying to think of it. Artemis Fowl. Yeah, Artemis Fowl. We'd read all of those. Uh-huh. Yeah, I really wish I'd read to my older kids more. Maybe they wouldn't be so angry then. I don't know. But I don't know. You can't go back. There's things that I wonder, if I had done this or that, would this not have happened? Would that not have happened? And I can't go back. I mean, I can just pray. And so I'm almost at 2 hours. So I think I'm going to go. And then I'm probably answer my child. I need to answer my child's. Since I don't really get that many texts from any of my children, actually, but so I wish I were in better communication with the ones that are talking to me, but I don't get as many. I don't talk to them as much as I'd like. That's why it's still, I might eventually move to Pennsylvania. Speaking of Pennsylvania, was somebody talking about Pennsylvania? Yeah, I might eventually move by my daughter in Pennsylvania, but I just don't think not right now. And I finally did say to her, I was like, I'm not sure, but I'm still thinking about what. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do in February. If I might renew my lease. I'm going to see how these next 6 months go, but I am like trying to just like chill. It's like, okay, you need to write. You need to try to find a publisher, maybe a publishing agent. So I'm going through, because I want to write the book about, it'd be like a memoirs, but it's mostly going to be focusing on what happened since my separation, because so much happened. So I've been going over the timeline, and I was just like, oh, and I didn't really initially start doing it thinking about the book, but I was like, oh, wait, this is good for my book, putting it, all in order and trying to get organized, So you're welcome, and God bless you. I'm going to pray for all of you. Dear Lord, please bless Lori. Euphoric Granny Productions and be with her and bless her family, Lord. Bless her little camping trip and keep her safe. And thank you for her. Thank you for Glenn, Lord. Thank you for the blessing he is to my channel and to Lindy's channel. And I pray that you would be with him and keep him well and bless his family. Lord, be with Mary as she travels and keep her safe and well, and especially when she's leaving her door open. And please let her renovations go well at the place in New Mexico. And thank you for her, Lord. Please bless Sylvia and her family, Lord. And I pray that you would be with her and keep her well. And thank you for guiding us in all our lives, Lord, and for giving us wisdom about things. And Lord, I pray you bless Anthony and be with him. And I pray you bless Larkwood and bless them and their family. I pray you bless pre-retirement days, Betty, and bless her and her family. Bless all our children and our grandchildren, Lord. Thank you for them. Thank you for Sam coming in here, Lord. I pray you bless her and her family over there in Australia, that you would be with them. Hey, that's not a hot spot. It's winter over there. Thank you for Sam, Lord, and I pray that you would bless her. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody. Lord, please help me not to forget anybody. Lord, please bless all my YouTube subscribers. Please guide us all in our lives, Lord, and direct our steps and help us to honor and glorify you. Thank you for Darcy and for her being here. I pray you bless her and her family. And thank you that I might be able to see her this week. Thank you that they're feeling better after being sick. Who else? Betty. I prayed for Betty. Please bless Betty. I think that was everybody. Lord, thank you for all these YouTube subscribers and followers. Thank you for guiding me, Lord. Please bless this country, Lord. Help us to pray for our country and for our leaders and for those who were injured in the shooting, Lord. And just thank you for the hope we have in you, Lord. Thank you that you give peace and contentment, Lord, even as we live in this chaotic world, Lord. Thank you that you said, in the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. And help us to just focus on you and trying to love each other and care for each other and do your will, which would be being kind and loving to others, Lord. Thank you for being with us, Lord. Thank you for my YouTube channel. Thank you that you've always been with me and guided me and helped me through difficult situations, Lord. I pray that my channel will be an inspiration and encouragement to people, Lord. And thank you for these YouTube followers and subscribers and watchers. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Granny. Thank you, Mary. Y'all that stuck around till the end. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everybody. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.